Live from Buffalo, Minnesota, it's the Bourbon Note with an empty chair. Ben will be right back. Speaking of the Ben,
Turns out we don't even have it. We killed that bottle.
we killed that bottle,
Yeah,
is what
so-
Ben is now reporting.
I'm here. I made it. I did not account for being out of breath when I came in. I'm going to mute the mic for a second while I'm putting this on just so it doesn't, get the comments up here. Oh, wait, I didn't mute it yet. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Well, that means it mutes me, but that's okay.
Yeah. On.
All right.
Whew. I ran up and down the stairs, and I didn't consider I was going to be winded when I got back in here, but what's up, everybody?
Reason number 12 why you shouldn't have a 7-story house, Ben.
I know, it's a long ways to the bottom if you want a live stream.
That's right.
All right, who do we have in here? John Matlock, Troy we've got in the house. I saw RJ the Fed. I saw that JT is here. You made it on time for once.
Wow.
I like that. John Matlick.
He was here even before Ben.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I was late to this one. So RJ had commented, and by the way, if there's any audio issues, let us know. Yeah. RJ had commented that he'd be surprised if we liked Still Austin, but we actually did recently.
So we recently did one where we were really impressed.
Yeah, we did just the regular Still Austin
and you,
cask strength.
because it's now kind of available in Minnesota. You've actually seen it at a store, and you had a sample, and that was okay for you, right? I didn't.
Yep.
I wasn't there for that one, but
then we did the actual review of it, and we both really liked it.
okay. So I have high expectations at this point.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do tonight, we do have this. We can try the straight rye at the end. How about that?
What is that? It says Still Austin?
Cask strength rye.
Oh. Yeah, if they mess that up, then there's no hope for them.
I don't know. I've had the Balcones rye, and it was just horrendous.
But that's a Still Austin, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm saying it is possible to just royally screw up a rye, apparently.
Well, yeah.
I just can't get my mic right here. So anyway, we have some samples from Mark, a.k.a. Mr. Great Shot, and we got another one from Bobby here. So these are Still Austin cask strengths, but they're single barrel picks. 2 of them are Nancy Fraley picks,
okay,
and one is the 21090 pick.
So who is the nose?
So Nancy Fraley is obviously legendary freelance whiskey blender. But is kind of what she
even
says.
Spirits. Like she's even working with
cognac. She does like rum and stuff too. But she's become very popular in the bourbon world because she's kind of started the whole cigar blend
thing was
trend.
kind of her idea.
Yeah, that was all Nancy, and then so she kind of goes. I've seen some videos with her where she'll describe herself as a freelance whiskey blender, master blender, because I think she goes to different distilleries and works with them.
Quite a few of them.
Yeah, and does like picks and things like that.
Works with Joseph Magnus.
Yep.
Works with
Still Austin. Yep.
Wyoming whiskey.
Okay.
And others.
Yeah. So she. I think when Nancy Fraley shows up to your distillery, it's about to get real. And speaking of 21090, they're in the chat. Go check out 21090's channel.
No. Yeah.
And that's the 21090 pick.
Oh, it is the 21090 pick. Yeah.
Yeah. So go mods if you could drop links to the other channels that are in the chat here. 21090.
Hey, Sugar
Baker
Kitty.
Drinks. Sugar Kitty's in the house. I didn't get to
Show
hear
up when
the,
you like there, Sugar Kitty. No.
Yeah.
We're glad you're here.
Okay, so let's also get our background music going here before we forget.
Oh. You know, speaking of backgrounds, I feel like maybe it's...
Is it too much?
Are you compensating for something here?
Well, I just, wanted something big there showing up on the internet. So, yeah, I tried to make the background just before we went on. I think, should we change that out to...
I think it's a little bit of...
it's imposing.
It's imposing, yeah. You're going to make some people feel inadequate.
Yeah, that's what we're here for, Greg, is to make the internet feel inadequate.
That looks better.
21090, trying to get the kids homework, baths, and to bed.
Mikey
but love your
Likey
sampling our
whiskey.
Still Austin pick. Stay tuned for more from us from Still Austin. All right, sweet. Mikey Likey Whiskey is in the house.
He is.
All right, so I had a control bourbon here. Did you want a control bourbon before we get into these?
No, I'm gonna.
I can tell you, I have been liking this plastic bottle of Evan Williams Black Label
It is such a.
that has the aging spire in it that we
was
put
like
in
a
there
year
like a
ago we
year
did,
ago.
though.
Yeah. It's actually pretty good. It's got a very toasted barrel vibe, and for an 86 proofer, it works great where it doesn't taste horrible, but it works great for
Just a
control
pour,
bourbon. Yeah. Okay, so who else do we have in here?
Cool Runnings.
Cool Running. All right. Hey, Bourbon Note, Sugar Kitty, 290. Cheers, guys. Well, cheers to you, Cooler Running.
Cool Runnings. Cool E Running. Coolie.
Maybe it's Cooler Unning.
Oh, I don't know if that's a verb, but maybe
Yeah.
that's exactly what he's doing.
Who knows? All right, let's get into these. Let's go by ascending proof. That's typically how we'll do these. So we have the 21090 pick will be first.
Okay.
And since we have them in the chat, let's... I will say this. In the comments on our Still Austin...
the review.
On the review, which again, it was the first Texas whiskey that Greg and I have really liked. And I had multiple people bring up the 21090 pick.
Okay.
One of them said, literally hands down, his favorite bourbon.
Wow.
I'd have to go back to the comments to remember who that was, or to figure out who that was. But
Sure.
So yeah, nothing but good things about the 21090 pick so far. So I'm very much looking forward to it.
So this one came from Bobby. So you're saying at my house I have a bottle of this as well? Mm-hmm. Okay. 'Cause I just set them aside. I didn't actually look at them.
So this is number 2.
Okay.
And then the 2 Nancy Fraley picks came from
119, and then what's the proof on that one?
122.
Wow.
So the 2 Nancy Fraley samples here, picks that we have,
Mark.
are from Mark, Mr. Great Shot. So thank you to Mark. All right. So what we
He
noticed...
is from Texas, and so he has a vested interest in us liking it. But I have high expectations at this point, I think.
Let me see here. Okay, so I got enough. I need just a tad bit more of the 21091 here. So exhilarating content watching us pour whiskey, I'm sure.
You know, a funny thing, we one time did a review, and Ben mispoured or I forget how it works, but he ended up, like, we're trying to compare a couple of whiskeys. And
We were
he poured
comparing
the same-
3 Larceny barrel proofs, and
And
for
you poured the
my
same-
3, I put 2 of them the same. Yeah.
Oh.
We
And like,
rely on the people in the comments to
Yeah.
let us know about that one,
Yeah,
which
it's-
we like it when people point out our failings. 21090 says, when Nancy Fraley tells you where to hunt in their rick house, you follow her lead. Yeah,
no kidding.
what I was going to say before is when Nancy Fraley shows up to your distillery, it's about to get real.
Yeah.
You're about to have an awesome
and
blend.
she happens to live, not to like totally talk about her totally tonight, she lives close to Bobby in that general area, if you know where Bobby's from. And so I think they have done at least one video.
Yeah. Yeah, these have a really nice nose on them. This is interesting, and I think we may have said this in our review of Still Austin. Again, Still Austin Cask Strength was really the first one that you and I were like, yes, this is good whiskey.
So what do we
like
know
it.
about Still Austin? Is this a fairly traditional bourbon, like mash bill? Like, is it a 4-grain?
That I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know any of that stuff. Does anyone know? Is this, basically corn, probably Texas corn?
One of the other samples that Mr. Great Shot had sent was a Still Austin red corn. And that's
Okay.
at 100 proof. I figured we'd do the
Yeah,
higher
that'd be
proof
different.
ones and maybe just do a standalone review of that one.
Sure. Bradford
Sanders, good evening, gentlemen. Well, good evening to you. Oh, God, I just had a drop of that end up in my eye. So I'm nosing it, eyeballing it. Oh, God.
That's what she said.
Is that what you were looking for?
I was looking for anything inappropriate.
You're disgusting. Yeah, these just don't have that horrible, awful Texas
Oh,
feel.
it's even worse now.
We've got Bobby with us here. All right, let's get into this 21090 pick on the nose.
All right, here we go.
This has a great nose. I'm almost...
It's like really rich brown sugar and with a lot of spice on the nose.
there's almost a little bit of marshmallow and graham cracker, like a toasted barrel as well.
I can see that.
Some
I'm
nice
looking forward to it.
sweet notes, a little s'moresy. Oh yeah, that's really good. interesting, nice wave of heat on the backside of this.
I put this into that category of
Wow.
the exceptional bourbons.
You think
like
so?
everything about it, like the nose is really, it draws you in.
I think it's
The
water.
flavor is nice and building. It's got good heat. The proof, did you say? I ignored you. 116.
160. I think you said it. You ignored yourself.
Yeah. This is really interesting in a super high quality way. Like I could understand people saying this is absolutely great.
Yeah, for sure. I need to get another sip of this because that was really interesting. Yeah, the nose, I'm really getting kind of those toasted barrel vibes. I know it's not a toasted barrel whiskey, but some similar vibes, that marshmallow and kind of s'moresy sort of thing.
It's not a complaint because I think it's great. It does have a interesting finish that actually tastes like corn.
I'm having, and maybe this is just me, I don't know if everybody who's drank this has had this experience. This is one of those ones where I'm getting just a great wave of heat on the finish. It's like you swallow it back, you get the flavors, and then just this nice burn. Pleasant burn.
I get some of that, but then there's this one flavor, like I don't know, tastes like corn, and that's not a bad thing. It's just I don't really remember the taste of corn on bourbon.
Really?
Yeah, I don't.
There's a bunch of them that we have. Like, Old Tub has that kind of corn, cinnamon, cornbread sort of vibe. I love that when a bourbon has that. Yeah, this is great. This is really good.
What kind of shoe, RJ?
I feel like still has
Like
old
a
leather
like a tennis shoe, or like
RJ, I will agree with you on that. There is something like dark and leathery about, and I remember that with the Still Austin cast strength too. And I'm not sure if we pointed that out. We did point out. Speaking of
I can see
darkness,
earthy.
this Still Austin is very, very dark in the glass. But yeah, this is great. I don't think, and I said this with the other review, I don't know that if you pour this for me that I would guess it's a Texas whiskey because it's not having all those things that we typically don't like about Texas
Yeah, I
whiskey.
agree. This drinks like a quality, big distillery from Kentucky type.
Yep, for sure. Let's get a little water here. Now we're going to step it into the Nancy Fraley territory here. Very excited about this. What do we have here? Obviously, we love what Still Austin does. We got a cream soda note off of it. Oh, interesting.
Wow.
Maybe that's what I'm getting, that kind of marshmallowy sort of. I could see that being like confused, like or not confused,
Vanilla.
but sort of with a vanilla, like
vanilla
a light sweetness. So maybe that's kind of where we're getting a similar note and just describing it different.
Sure.
Which is entirely possible.
Yeah.
Want to support the channel? Check out the Bourbon Note Patreon. Yeah, thank you, Sugar Kitty.
Thank you, Sugar.
For throwing down on that.
All right, I'm looking forward to this one.
119 proof. This is the June 23 Still Austin Nancy Fraley.
So how does this work? I mean, obviously she's the one that picked the barrel, and then was it sold to a particular liquor store? Or is it just like a single barrel?
Well, and now this says it's a pick, but I wonder if it's a Nancy Fraley blend or if it's a single barrel. And I don't know that information. Maybe somebody could drop that into the chat that might know. Because she is, I mean, obviously she's great at picking barrels, so for this to be just a single barrel pick would obviously be still, but she's also a freelance whiskey master blender.
But she can't sell it, so it's got to go through a store.
Yeah,
or a
that's what I
club.
kind of wonder.
And so I'm just wondering how technically it works, but just curious.
Ooh, that's got an interesting bite to it on the nose. It's a little more aggressive.
I'm getting hints of grape Kool-Aid. Just very subtle. There he is.
Mr. Great Shot is here. Okay, Mr. Great Shot, we are drinking through a couple of the samples that you sent. We have another one over here too. But we haven't tasted it yet. We're just onto our first Still Austin Nancy Fraley pick. And we were just wondering how the picks work, if this is a single barrel where she just selected a great barrel, or she did some sort of a blend for them since she's a master blender.
Right.
And how that went about, like where do you get them? So if you could throw some info in there, Mark, that would be awesome.
Yeah, and 21090, I'm curious, that bottle or that barrel, or I'm assuming it's single barrel, but maybe I'm wrong about that. It says SIB on that one. Yeah, that was an awesome barrel.
Yeah. Cooler Running said he's seen so much good stuff about Still Austin, but that'll probably never reach him across the pond. Where are you from, Cooler Running? All right, let's get into the taste of this. On the nose, there's definitely there's a bite that I can't pinpoint.
I'm still like a little bit of a candy kind of note. And I'm not saying this is a bad thing. It's just really interesting.
I'm with you on the grape. I wouldn't have gone there right away because I was getting...
Like, it's almost like it's finished, but not quite.
All right, let's give it a shot here.
Well, that's great.
Wow.
Very viscous.
It is. That has like that premium bourbon feel to it. Interesting overall experience, though. Mm-hmm. Like at first, my initial reaction was to say that it drinks way less than its proof point. And then
it builds. Kind
of like this last one, there's this building heat that shows up on the end. But yeah, definitely oily. Mr. Great Shot, Mark said it was believes there's single barrels available, and then Sugar Kitty had said available at the distillery in person.
Nice.
1 a month. Okay, sweet.
Wow. Ryan Frank calling us out for not going live. Unfortunately, life gets in the way occasionally.
Yeah, this is checking in for the first time in 3 weeks. We went live 2 weeks ago.
Did we?
Yeah, so I think we didn't go live last week, then we went live the previous week, and didn't go live the week before that.
But were we on someone else's channel? Maybe it wasn't our channel? I forget. Life is impossible to keep track of.
Greg and I have had unbelievably busy weeks this last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I'll tell you all about it, Ryan. All right, this is really interesting. I don't know what to make of this. It's great, but there's flavors here that I just can't pinpoint.
It is such a... Man. The viscosity actually holds down the heat, and then as it goes away, then the heat builds. It is such an interesting experience type whiskey. It's absolutely great. Great flavors.
Yeah, it's really good.
But I like the experience more than the flavor, and I think the flavor's great.
Yeah, this I'm getting some interesting oak notes on it. That I'm attributing to the oak, but it's different. It almost seems like a different kind of wood that this was aged in or something.
So, Mark, if we can believe the labels, they're all different proof points. We don't think we have two of the same one.
Yeah, the 21090 pick that we have is from Bobby.
Yeah, and it's not the same proof as the other two. And that one's a rye, so that's probably not it either. Late off the couch. I'm assuming you're a psychiatrist?
Peter White's here? No, if you're on the couch, you were at the psychiatrist.
Oh.
Lee Knowlton is here, just picked up a Still Austin Cask Strength today. Finally hit the market in Michigan. Yeah, It just showed up in Minnesota too, Lee. And we are fans of it.
Well, so far, we've been really impressed. You know what? I would like to try their basic 80 proof white label, type version.
Their regular offering. That would be interesting. So maybe we'll have to pick up one of those.
Yeah, because
they've got different names. Like I think there's one called the Musician, and I don't know if that's the name of a
line.
Whatever. Yeah, exactly. Ryan Frank, I'm not gonna lie, I've been itching for another sip of that sheep poop bourbon.
Me too.
When he came over, he came over here probably a month and a half ago now, and it was just after we had done that live stream.
Is it over there?
No, I think I killed it.
Oh.
So he had a sip of it. It was actually a single malt, not a bourbon. Yeah, and then I brought some to Sean. Didn't tell him what it was.
I need to order Floki. I need to order a bottle of that at Floki whiskey. Let me add a note so that I can remember.
I went back to the 21090 pick just to even them out because Nancy Fraley is not the only master blender that is involved with this live stream tonight, because we're going to do the Benny Walker special and blend all three of them together. So
you're putting yourself in your blending chops.
Well, just in this particular live stream, since Nancy isn't here. I will take over as the resident master blender. And all my blends are equal parts of whatever's on the table.
Well, you now do a blending show as well. So if you're not watching and subscribe to the Patreon, you're missing out.
Yeah, and I'm actually going to film one of those tomorrow.
Nice.
Again, life has been extremely busy for me and Greg for the last week and a half, 2 weeks.
So Ryan, I'm totally interested in actually ordering one, and I'll certainly give you some samples.
Sure.
Unless you want a half a bottle, but if you just want to occasionally have an opportunity to get to it, there'll be one here soon.
Okay, sweet. Mr. Great Shot says Still Austin is proofing down during the aging process. That's interesting.
Do they add water in the barrel? In one of those
I wonder.
solarium?
Maybe kind of Solera.
Solera aging?
I've never think heard it would make it a Solera, but that's interesting.
Yeah, how does that work?
We got to start traveling to places where there are actually distilleries and you can just sit and learn all this stuff.
Yeah.
You know, hands-on.
Mm-hmm. We need someone to subscribe to that top tier of Patreon, $100,000 a month.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
And then we'll just travel and do this full time.
You know, I was thinking at some point, if we ever make enough money on the Patreon, I'll start spending it wildly irresponsibly. Like,
that's your commitment to the internet?
Yep, I'll just take whatever, my cut of it is that month. Yeah. I will buy whatever plane ticket I can get to whatever city I can afford with that amount of money, and I'll go bourbon hunt there. And or you know what? I'll fly to Vancouver and just shop at the duty free and come home.
Free.
Yeah,
right.
I will do that stuff with my time and your money. So check out the Bourbon Note Patreon. If that's not a good pitch for the Patreon, I don't know what is.
Sugar Kitty, we can't have you talking like that on the internet. It's inappropriate and you're gonna make people uncomfortable.
What do you say? I'm sorry I keep screwing around with this microphone. It's just sitting weird tonight. It's slowly pumped inside the barrel.
That's what she said.
Okay. Let's see. Cheers. Make the trip to Iceland to pick up the bottle. It's worth it. Okay, Patreon. Again, I will travel and I will spend every dime of your money to do it. That's the commitment I make.
Okay,
to bring you
we're on to
mediocre at best entertainment. So this is the 122 proof July 23 Nancy Fraley pick.
Okay. Oh, this was June 23 and July 23. So
Bradford Sanders says, send me money and I'll get wasted on bourbon. I like your business model, man. That's great. That's kind of what we do with the Patreon.
You know, when I looked up, I saw his name there. I thought it said Bradford Sisters.
Mm. Oh. Did you try that yet?
No, not yet.
Get into that. That is... That's incredible. That's really good.
They're all really good.
Mm-hmm.
It has a texture on it.
Yeah.
That is it's not, well, it is viscous, but it's almost like grainy. Like it has like
granular.
Granular. That was
Ooh. Got a strong cola note on that. Like a Coke.
Like Ricola?
Ricola. Yeah, that's really interesting.
There is a hazelnut, like a farm-raised hazelnut kind of note.
Well, we said in the video of our first ever review of Still Austin Cask Strength, which we put out just 2 weeks ago or something like that.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
That everybody told us that this would change our mind on Texas whiskey. It's changed my mind on Texas whiskey in the sense that I have even less respect for Texas whiskey because it doesn't have to be.
The heat is not the problem.
Yeah, Texas can't be your excuse.
Yep.
Because Still Austin are making good Texas whiskey, so I don't know what is going on with some of the other places, but and again, Texas whiskey we're not picking on any particular brands here, but Texas whiskey as a general flavor is a style that we just don't happen to like. But these are really good.
Although there are some people who do say that Austin's not really Texas.
Yeah.
And so maybe that's what it is. So I did fairly small pours, so I need to stop here if we're gonna move on to your master blending.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to get into it.
Okay.
All right, let's try it out.
So just for those playing at home, we don't have age statements, but we think that all of these are fairly well aged, and so we're probably pushing at least 15 to 18 years.
Yes,
at this point.
That's how that works.
And a good 400, maybe 360.
Yeah.
355 proof maybe.
Mm-hmm. And it's 50% this one, 50% this one, 50% this one.
Exactly. So that's the blend. So if you were to have these 3 bottles, which is probably fairly difficult, Sugar Kitty probably has them, but otherwise,
Mark obviously does.
Well, he has these
Because
two.
he said he had the 210.
Oh, so maybe Mark,
well.
you're the only one that can do this. And
Yeah,
so
do
a
the blend. Mark's at
50,
home,
50
I'm
blend.
assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Man, look at the color on that. It's just got a great color to it. It looks finished.
This 210 Fraley pick.
Yeah, here we go. Let's get into the nose here.
I'm getting, it's more of the s'mores, more of the
Yeah.
s'mores kind of.
Toasted barrel vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's got...
With a little bit of cherry. Like, definitely quality, like well-aged.
I'm wondering if that really great cola note that came through on that 122 proof.
All right, I'm going for it.
Cheers, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
You know, they should just bottle this.
That's amazing. That is freaking amazing.
This is Stagg Jr., George T. Stagg quality.
I don't know that I would go that far.
Oh,
What
yeah.
the fuck are you talking about, man?
I don't think I would go that far,
Oh, you're.
but man, it's really
Yeah, this would.
this is an outstanding blend.
It is.
Nancy, if you're watching,
Thanks for watching.
I'm telling you,
But
gotta have me come blend bourbon with you sometime. I'll take the single barrel picks that you've already picked and just say do equal parts of all of them. It's gonna be amazing.
That's right.
That gives me chops as a
Yeah, that's right.
apprentice master blender. Yeah, this is really good. Get into some more of this.
One thing that's noticeable is it's got a lot of like influence from the wood, but it's not
That's
bitter.
what she said.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's got just the right amount of that. You know? Let's see.
What's a Whitmire? Whitmire Specs pick. Is that a store?
Not just cola, get the full black tea. So what are you reading Mikey
Wow.
Likey Whiskey's comment? Just grabbed a couple Texas whiskeys last trip. I'm digging. Yeah, what is Whitmire's Specs pick?
That's gotta
Apparently
be.
the
That's a
first
store.
Non-distillery release. Tastes like Brock's chocolate. No, Brock's.
Brax. That's a
Yeah.
brand.
What else do they make? Brock's. Don't they make like the
Hard candy.
Yeah, there's a specific kind I'm thinking. of.
Butterscotch.
Do they make that too?
I
Yeah,
think they make butterscotches.
Is there like a red and green labeled one? Bobby's here.
Whoa, yeah.
Look, Bobby with the Bobby pick.
Well, yeah, we drank the 21090 pick and 2 Nancy Fraley picks, and now we have the blend of them, and it's freaking amazing. What's the MSRP on these 3 bottles? That I have no idea, because
So this one was free. This one was free, and this one was free.
on these particular bottles, this one was a pick that another YouTube channel did, and then these 2 are single barrel picks that are available at the distillery in Austin.
But yeah, I actually don't know the price.
I don't either. I think the regular cast strength runs, some people were saying it's cheaper than I had said in our video, but I think
said
it runs
80?
60 to 70, I thought.
Huh. That's pretty good for a 115-ish.
Yeah, I think that was 116 was the proof on that. Yeah, Bobby, if you have more of the 21090 pick, the Still Austin Nancy Fraley June 23, and the Still Austin Nancy Fraley July 23. I know he sent us one of these, so we do a
Okay.
duplicate.
Okay.
Do the blend and let us know what you think. Nancy picks are $90. Okay.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you. Mark
Yes.
coming in with the info.
Thank you so much for sending us some samples. They are amazing. So yeah, at this point, and I don't think it's a surprise to anyone other than, who's that, RJ that said it? Still Austin makes some really, really good whiskey.
They do.
I don't think it drinks like anything else that I've had so far from Texas.
And interestingly enough, I think Still Austin still kind of has its own unique...
A little bit.
Like, it doesn't taste just like a down-the-middle bourbon, and it doesn't taste like Texas whiskey.
Right.
It just has its own...
Just a little bit different.
Yeah. It's like it takes all the things that are bad about Texas whiskey and gets rid of them and keeps
But the
maybe
one
some
thing
of the
that I'm
things that Texas
noticing,
whiskey has going for it.
and I don't hate it, but I do notice it's almost like it's granular.
See, I love that in a bourbon.
I don't know if I've ever really experienced it. And I'm not talking the viscosity. Like,
Yeah.
it's almost like you can chew it.
I've had...
there's-
We've talked about this, that I've brought it up on different reviews
You know, I
before,
don't
a long
even
time
pay
ago.
attention in our
I'm,
videos.
I'm well aware of that. But no, I've said that before, where it's almost like it's textured like it's sugar.
Yeah.
Like there's sugar in it or something. Like
Yeah.
it's got such a flavor to it that it manifests itself kind of in a physical way almost.
That's what she said.
Bobby, that should be really close.
Yeah, that's pretty close. Major Zero is in the house. What's happening, Major Zero? Just crossed the 1,600 subscriber threshold, so good job on that.
Good job on that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Like, I'm not knocked
Agree
out.
on what? The proof thing?
But yeah, I'm surprised a little bit by the proof. Like, it's not super noticeable. Although, I think all three of them actually have a really building heat. The wood spice kind of comes through and everything.
That's
They
what I've
start
had
out
on
really
all of
well.
them. It's just like this building heat that's really nice. I would use the term mouthfeel, but apparently Greg says that's frowned on. Did we talk about that?
I don't know if I've said that. I know that I've seen other channels say that.
Well, no, we talk about mouthfeel. No, because, okay, so it's funny that you said that, Sugar Kitty, because I was actually going to bring this up. Like, the fact that the term...
That's what she said.
The fact that the term mouthfeel is talked about so openly and nobody giggles when they say it.
Well,
I was watching...
Well, Chad always plays, or used to play, a clip from
Bob's
The Simpsons.
Burgers.
No, I think it's the Simpsons.
I saw that they did that on one of their episodes that I saw,
used
and
to be
I
a long
actually
time
did that on one of our recent episodes.
Really?
Yeah, I figured it would have been years since I seen them do it, so I was like, well, I can use this clip.
There's a clip about exceptional mouthfeel from an old Simpsons episode or something like that.
I could probably bring it up here.
That's what she said.
Tell the cast strings are flowing here. No, so I was watching about maybe 2 weeks ago or whatever. I was watching actually a Whiskey Row was doing a video on, I know they had a list or something, and my wife walked in right when he said it has a great mouthfeel, and immediately she started laughing. She's mouthfeel. And I was like, yeah, why doesn't anybody laugh when we say mouthfeel all the time?
Well, I don't think we use that much, do we?
Yeah, we do.
Really?
Yeah, we say it's got like a good viscosity, a great
say-
mouthfeel.
I tend to say viscosity to avoid it just because it could be misconstrued.
Well, I'm all about the mouthfeel.
That's what she said.
Hey, Samoan Barkeep is in the house. Drop a link to Samoan Barkeep's channel.
Who is some...
I learned about his channel through Baker Drinks.
Oh, wow.
So that's another fun thing about doing these. I'm looking up a price here real quick. Because I'd like to...
never trust the cat, Sugar Kitty.
That's what she said.
It's just going to be everything now. It's going to be...
Well, yeah, you're going to wear it the button.
I'm going to wear it...
That's what she said.
You can't... All right, I'll leave it alone now, but I was not passing that one up. Okay, so I'm going to hop on Total Wine. I just want to see what the MSRP is for just the regular Still Austin cast strength.
Well, what about the Still Austin baby strength?
Well, I'll look up all of them.
That's probably not what they call it.
And I'm looking up, I know that Total Wine tends to run a little bit less than a lot of other places, but Total Wine is also the only one that I can really find what their in-store prices are. Sure. So let's go here. It always thinks I'm in a different state because I use a VPN.
VPN. Running from the law.
Okay. Entertain the internet. This is...
So Lee said $50.
Okay.
And I don't know if he's trying to bet somebody on something or what he's...
Or if he's implying that the Still Austin cask strength
is $50 at Total Wines in our region. Which it could
Oh,
be.
wow. Still Austin cask strength, $44.99, marked down from $49.99. So he's right on with that.
Wow.
Why did I think this was $70? Do they have another one at Total Wine that's... Oh, they have a cask strength single barrel. That one's
Store pick
$72.
or something.
So that must have been the one because I saw it on the shelf and I saw the $70.
Okay.
Wow, I'm even more impressed
Do
with
they
it
have
now
an
at
80
50.
profile? Like just a real basic one?
So they have one that's normally 40, marked down to 34. Let's see what this one is. This appears to be just their regular, the Musician straight bourbon whiskey. And it should have the info on it. It usually does. 49.2, so we're almost at 100 proof with that one.
Wow.
Yeah, that's okay. So 98.4. Interesting. Yeah, I'd like to try that one out. What do you guys think of the
the basic non-cast strength.
Yeah, just the basic, the
Curious what people
musician.
think. Yeah, because we've definitely found some distilleries where they're really good at cast strength, but at 80 proof, it's a bit of a stretch.
You know, I will be perfectly honest with you. At this point, I don't like 80 proof whiskey.
I'm starting to get to the point, and I think you got there a lot sooner in this channel journey. But as I'm killing bottles recently and trying not to buy stuff,
Yeah.
there's some I'm struggling to finish the bottle,
Oh, yeah.
and including one that really surprises me.
Which is it one of your beloved Basil Haydens?
Well, I haven't even touched those yet. It's the Old Elk Pick, but
Is that one 80?
It's probably 86 or 90.
Did we not do that one on the channel?
No, we didn't.
Okay.
But it's
We're gonna
their
have to try
own
that one.
distillate because their MGP stuff is great. But I think it's their own distillate, and it is so much worse. It is such a small distillery kind of like...
Yeah, like
It's
super
yeah,
crafty.
Yeah.
What was I just going to say? Okay, so Simone Barkeep says that they jacked the prices up in Washington.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully you're close to Oregon like Troy and Laura are, because they...
Shh, that's a secret. Nobody talks about that.
Well, it's just one part of the whole state, you know. I said Oregon.
No, I'm just making reference to crossing the state line in order to buy liquor and not pay taxes and so on.
Hey, it's legal. You can do it.
So I sure hope that Major Zero is making reference to cast strength.
Man, I'm going to assume he probably is, but, you know, the low proofs are good for infinity bottles. I could see that. So for me, it's not even just the fact that it doesn't have enough of a proof bite. That's part of it. It's watered down.
I'm starting to get some negative flavor notes.
Yes, that's what I think. I think when you water it down too much, it almost creates a weird... I don't know. It makes it doesn't... It tastes like off-profile bourbon. Like even more expensive, a little bit well-aged ones like Basil Hayden that are at 80 proof. Like I start to get like funky, weird notes that I just don't... You and I really love stuff at around the 100 proof
100
point.
proof
Is
is
just
a good spot.
fantastic.
Typically. But I've definitely, in this past year, I've had more finished whiskeys.
Yeah.
And finishing really helps, but obviously you're really adding a lot of flavor in a particular direction, like wine or whatever.
Yeah. Yep, for sure. So I know we've done the proof points, you know, we compared a bunch of different bottles. I think we should do a video, like what are the best available sub 100 proof bottles? Because that's valuable information to have, because I think so I've got an Elijah Craig small batch here. This is great for just an average Tuesday night pour of whiskey. You just feel like having a bourbon.
Yep. But it's 94 proof.
94 proof, so it's not watered all the way down, but it's also, you're not drinking a cast strength where maybe on a weeknight, you know, you say you want to have a nice, you know, maybe 2 to 3 ounce pour, you know, home pour.
Pour, is that what that's
Yeah,
called?
that's what Bill Burr calls them, and I am the dollar store general Bill Burr, so.
I still don't know what that means, but...
He's a comedian. Story time's in the house. What's going on? Check this out, Shane. Look what we happen to have handy right here. Coming to a Bourbon Note video near you.
Very, very soon.
Very soon. Yeah, we're running out of content, so we do actually have to film this week.
Okay.
This weekend. So anyway, but what I was saying is that just having a good lower proof bourbon that has a bunch of flavor is...
It's rare.
I mean, I don't know if it's rare, but I mean, it's just certain ones can pull it off and certain ones just can't. Like Elijah Craig pulls it off at 94 proof.
94 proof. Like maybe like a 10-year Basil Hayden or something. I think I want to revisit. It's been a while since I've had it. Maybe it's still okay, but maybe it's not.
But even like Eagle Rare, I know it's not fully available everywhere, but Eagle Rare at 90 proof but 10 years is fantastic.
Yeah.
Buffalo Trace is great at 90 proof. I was in a hotel for a few days this last week, and so I grabbed a bottle of bourbon just to have at the, you know, when I get back to the room at night. And I hadn't had this in a while, but I grabbed a 1792 small batch for $30. Freaking outstanding. It's just a great, like, everyday available, inexpensive.
I think Barton Distillery is one that is hit or miss for me. Like there have been times when I absolutely loved it and times when I was a little bit...
I feel sometimes like the stuff that they source out is hit or miss. Some of it's great, and some of it...
Like they were doing Costco, the Costco
That
main.
stuff I thought was really good.
Usually, yeah, their bottom bond was good, but then I had another one that was only mediocre.
We liked the single barrel at 120 proof. I thought that was great.
Sure.
the regular 1792 bottled in bond, I feel
Wanna
kind of...
try the rye?
Yeah, let's get into it.
Okay.
I feel it kind of misses the mark in a way.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, that one I get a little bit of a bug spray note, and I've noticed like some of the Total Wine offerings, like Wolcott has a cast strength, I think it's Wolcott, and it's from 1792, and it's like 120 proof. And I tasted that at the store, and that one tasted like bug spray a little bit.
So I'm assuming this is from Great Shot, Mr. Great Shot Mark.
Yes, it is.
Because it's the same labels. This is a Still Austin cast strength rye, 116 proof.
Yep, let's get into it. So now, I have not had luck with Texas ryes. I've only had a couple.
Yeah, we've only had a
The
couple.
Balcones cast strength rye, I think we had
that-
that from Baker Drinks, and that one was okay, but the Balcones regular rye, I'm
Sean
sorry,
send this one?
it's just terrible. Sean might have as well, but that would have been maybe in a blind.
Yeah.
That night we did the
Yeah. right.
blind.
We had some weird, like finished ryes. Was that what his
And I think that, you know what, we might have had just the regular, there was a Still Austin in there somewhere too.
there was?
All right. Cast strength rye, 116 proof from Still Austin.
Who's biking bourbon?
What's going on, Biking Bourbon? Oh, I've seen Biking Bourbon. I think I'm subscribed to Biking Bourbon. Drop a link.
This smells like a rye.
Does it? That's
Does.
weird.
Yeah.
You would think. It's funny when you type that into YouTube and just a video of Joe Biden falling off his bike with a whiskey bottle in the background comes up.
That was the first thing.
Yeah. Yeah, check out, because I think Biking Bourbon has a channel. I haven't seen it in a while. I'm subscribed to so many
Yeah,
channels now
yeah.
that they don't show up in my feed regularly if I'm subscribed to them,
Yeah.
because there's so many of them. But in my search history, Biking Bourbon came up. So Biking Bourbon, let us know about your channel, because I'm pretty sure that's a channel.
So Mark is saying that he prefers a 100 proof rye. So I'm going to see what the 116's like.
The regular 100 proof rye from Still Austin, I don't like that as much.
I love this.
Do you really?
So it has a quality that I don't know how to describe other than to say it's a little bit boring. Like it doesn't quite have as many different complexity things as bourbon. Mm-hmm. And I love bourbon. But something about this, it just really hits right.
Yeah, I'm not getting that as much. I'm getting, I don't know, I'm getting almost a weird,
Like an apple kind of note in it that I think is like a
green apple, like a
Yeah.
green apple candy
almost
maybe.
hinting at sour in the middle.
Yeah, and I'm kind of equating some of that with almost like a, there's a weird sort of like chlorine-y vibe to it.
Well, I love this.
And that could be, we also did just drink 3 cast strength bourbons before getting into this. Yeah, Biking Bourbon. So the one thing I do remember is looking for your channel. It doesn't just show up when you type in Biking Bourbon just as
Just do
those
at.
words. There's all this other stuff that comes up that's
sure.
like different videos. But I know I'm subscribed. But yeah, it's it's funny. Like I have so many like new channels that I subscribe to and start watching, and then if I've watched a couple of their videos, then they'll show up. And then if somebody doesn't post for a while or I haven't seen one in a while, then it kind of gets buried because I'm subscribed to so many different channels now.
Yep.
So let's see. What do we got? I need to become friends with Storytime. Well, you need to subscribe to Storytime. Let's
Is
see.
he talking to
No.
us or is he talking to Shane? Who are you talking to? Because we're going to be filming your review probably Friday.
Yeah. Yeah, so what we're going to do, since we've already done the full independent review of the Coulibre, we'll do a full independent review of the regular Old Dragon Bones now that we have it. But we'll probably bring the Coulibre in. I
yeah.
mean, I don't see any way around it.
Yeah.
For science, you got to bring in,
When you can get close to 300 proof in two
with only 2 whiskeys, yeah.
bottles, then you do it.
Yeah, so I'm very excited about that. I'm very sad about this.
Yeah, your bottle's defective there, Shane. It leaks.
Yeah, I don't know where all this bourbon went. It must have leaked out of the bottle. I'm going to need a
not
replacement.
they're
I
not
know they're
available.
not. He's got to have one bunkered under his house somewhere. So this is my Friday at Fred's. It's
That's
unfortunately there's about one more pour left out of this, and I think I'll probably have it tonight. That's the thing about these awesome whiskeys is eventually you have to say goodbye.
Oh, so Shane earlier today did mention there is. Do we know the name on that one? There is a new Old Dragon Bones. I saw the story.
Ooh, are we getting a sample of that to
Yeah,
review?
it's on its way.
You can disregard. Pretend instead of saying America, it said story time. I just needed to get the F yeah in there.
Oh, what's a good reference to story time?
Sugar Kitty says Shane's bottles all do that. Crappy things. Yeah, all these story time bottles, it's weird. I come back to them like a month later and most of the bourbon's gone. Pronounce Ida. Okay.
Ida. Yeah.
I remembered, Shane, seeing on your Instagram, you did some of those live videos while you were traveling around, that you said that there was a new one coming out. Mm-hmm. And so that's very exciting. That's awesome.
Is it also Canadian?
So
That's where we get. Oh.
Shane, I think you said you get these from, does it say on here? Backbone Bourbon Company. So I've just actually started seeing Backbone Bourbon show up in Minnesota as a brand.
Really?
Yeah, so
But
it's
they're probably
the same.
not 18 years.
No, and I think they make
So-
so these are Canadians
Grab
anyway.
grab
Canadian rye.
Grab the Colibri.
Okay.
Now turn it around to the back
Yeah.
and read the distilled date or the barrel date.
June 05. That's freaking crazy.
June 2005.
That's wild.
That has been in a barrel a very long time.
And this one came out.
Well,
Yeah,
it came
this
out
one was-
last year. So it went in
This
about
one
the
was
same
also
time,
June 05.
but it came out last year.
Yeah. So basically, something similar to this came out and went into that. Was it Oloroso Sherry? Oloroso Sherry.
Right.
That's just amazing. 53% rye. So it's not even like a
high rye.
overly intense rye, too.
Yeah.
I'll be in the cities in mid-December. Biking Bourbon, where are you from? Like, are you from Minnesota? Oh, Shane says this is a story, or is a Barbados rum finished 18-year Canadian as well.
Whoa. Who said that?
Shane.
Okay, first of all, put me down for 2 bottles no matter what, because I've learned recently that I love rum finished bourbons and ryes.
Rum finished ryes, we've had a couple of really good ones.
Rum finished could be my favorite subcategory. So I need a couple of those.
Have we had a rum finished bourbon? I'm trying to think.
Broken Barrel? It was
That's
probably
right.
a bourbon.
Yep, that was rum staves.
Yeah,
Which is, it definitely had a flavor to it for sure.
And then like the what is it? The Doc Swenson? Was that the
Doc
rum?
Swenson's Funky Drummer, which is great.
Yeah, it was great.
And I'm trying to think if there was what was another rum finished rye that maybe we didn't get our hands on, but there was
What's the sea?
Seagrass is not.
It's a rye.
There's rum, but it's also like apricot brand.
Yeah,
It's a bunch of different
that's
stuff,
right.
but that's really good too.
Yeah.
Storytime says rum finished rye is my favorite rye finish.
Milwaukee
I would agree at this
area.
point. Milwaukee, but traveling to Eden Prairie. Oh, nice. What are you going to be doing in Eden Prairie?
Everybody knows what people do in Eden Prairie.
Well, don't go to Costco to buy booze because that Eden Prairie Costco does not sell booze.
Really?
Yeah. They're a muni town.
Oh.
I found that out the hard way. I was all excited to stop into Costco and see what they had.
We live in a muni town,
And it's
but
a pain in the ass to
certainly-
get to, too.
We certainly don't have a Costco in our little
No.
metropolis.
Let's see. What does this say? Just because they're mediocre doesn't mean you shouldn't check it out. Mediocre whiskey reviews. Yes, absolutely.
Totally.
Is Jill in the chat here? She just did a...
There she is.
Oh, yeah, here she is. Okay. Hey, Jill, what's happening?
Welcome to the party.
I have not yet gotten to watch your video on the Still Austin cask strength, but I'm looking forward to that.
Although it is
As
right
we
here.
were saying at the beginning of
And
this,
right here.
it's been in... Well, no, so Jill did a review of Still Austin cask strength right around the time that we did
Oh, nice.
as well. Yeah, as we were saying, these last couple weeks have been insanely busy. But you would think I would have had a lot of time to just sit and watch Whiskey Tube, but I didn't.
Yeah.
And there's, yep, I'm here. Let's see, dual purpose, working and visiting one of my daughters. All right, cool. That's awesome. I've never been to Milwaukee. I've driven by it a bunch of times on the way to Chicago, but I've never actually. I've heard it's a great city, great food.
I thought they called it Milwaukee.
Milwaukee, which means the good land. Jill says, "Don't feel bad. I don't have time either." Well, see, the thing is I've been off work. A lot of my Whiskey Tube takes place when I'm listening while I'm at work because I tend
Are
to.
you sure you want to admit this?
What?
Just mess with you. He listens. He doesn't actually watch.
Yeah, no, I usually, because I drive a lot for work, so I'll usually turn the screen off and just listen over the Bluetooth, and I'll just knock out a bunch of different videos, but I've been off work for the last week, so I just haven't been catching up, and then the week before that was just busy with all this stuff, so.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been a banger of a week, for sure.
Yep.
I know Brian's not in here. But well, never. You know what? I'm not going to talk about that because I don't know if that's public knowledge. I was going to bring something up about Bourbon School.
Monday?
Yeah, but because that's not going to be broadcast.
Oh, it's not?
That's just a kind of a brainstorming thing.
Oh.
So never mind. Forget what I said. Scratch that. Delete it.
So if you're just part of the public, ignore this. But if you have a bourbon/whiskey channel, there's something that you may be interested in.
Send an email to thebourbonnote@gmail.com and we'll pass it along.
Yeah.
Looking to maybe do some collaboration stuff. We'll leave it at that, which would be super, super fun.
It would.
By the way, I didn't actually run that by you. I just responded on behalf of myself. I was like, well, if Greg's not into it, I am, so.
It was fine.
Jill, already interested. So, okay. In summation here, because we're getting to be close to the hour point, the rye got better as I was drinking it. I definitely started to enjoy it a little bit more.
You disliked it. You hated it. You hated it so much, you're going to give me the bottle to take home. I'm kidding. I thought it was great. I really liked it.
You can take it home if you want.
I think I have. No, that's fine.
Oh, Shane said those bourbon guys challenged you in a recent video. Okay, I'll have to check that out. So here's something for some little inside baseball when you have a YouTube channel.
Okay.
So when we get comments, so I do almost all of our engaging with people over the app, the YouTube Studio app.
On the internet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right from my phone. And so the YouTube Studio app is basically like the backstage of our channel. I can upload videos, make them private, make them public.
Sure.
I do all of that stuff when I'm responding to people. Hey, Myron's in the house. Bourbon Drop. Drop a link for Bourbon Drop and drop a link for... well, we already got a link out there for Jill at Mediocre Whiskey, so let's get a link for Bourbon Drop. Cheers, Myron. Anyway, so what I was saying, so the other channels will understand this. So the YouTube Studio app is different than obviously YouTube.
Yes.
So we don't upload videos and stuff through regular YouTube, and I always upload on the computer. This is where I upload the videos, right?
Okay.
But I get notified of comments and respond to comments on the app. For whatever reason, if you get mentioned by another channel, if they tag you like if they challenged us in a video, they probably put at the Bourbon Note.
Sure.
You don't get notifications for that, and I can't find a way to view that on the app. In order to even know that happened, I have to log into my YouTube Studio on the actual laptop and go to the mentions and just see if anyone's mentioned us recently. Really? And I don't know how to change that, but I don't get notified at all if somebody mentions us in like a video description or something like that. So yeah, I'm probably doing something terribly wrong, but All right, I'm going to have...
And the reality is we have probably 2 or 3 dozen channels a week mention us.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty major problem that we need to address.
Do you mean in every fiscal year? Every quarter,
Yeah.
2 or 3 whiskey channels will mention us. All right, I'm going to have just a little bit more of this before we sign off here.
Okay.
But yeah, looking forward to getting the old Dragon Bones review out there. I know it's a review of a bottle that nobody can get anymore, but
That's the best part.
sometimes you just got to do those because I'm not going to get this bottle and not do a video
Well, of
about it
course,
for
yeah,
sure.
Yeah. That's the ultimate unicorn. It's a one of one.
Yeah, it's a major award.
It is
I won
a
a major award.
yeah.
Do you want some of this?
No, go ahead.
I should.
Dude, kill it. I'll just kill your Friday at Fred's.
Yeah.
Kidding. Kidding.
You actually have a bottle of that
I have at least one.
full one. Do you have more than one?
I do.
Nice. That was the way to do it.
Because Shane mentioned that they're getting really low, and I thought, you know what, this is genuinely one of those bottles that this would go in the time capsule. You know?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think they all would from Storytime, just because every one of them has been great,
Hey,
and they're all single barrels. Are you getting a message from Shane? Simone Barkeep enjoying some Shanks. You know, that's one, like Shanks and Bomburgers, I know they're kind of like allocated limiteds from Michter's. And I've had a chance to buy them, but I passed because I didn't know anything about them, and they're a little expensive. They run in the 100 to 150, I think, around here. And now I kind of regret not getting one, especially the Bomburgers, because that's aged in some weird sort of casks or whatever that apparently is really good. What do you think of the Shanks? Let us know. Or I'll check and see if you have a review of it. Chris Jenkins is in the house. What's up, Chris Jenkins?
he's been here for a while.
No, I'm sorry, I didn't notice. The chat has been going by kind of quickly here. So what else are we doing? We have to get another whiskey trivia night in America going here.
We do. We
At
need
some
to find
point.
some channels that are interested in going head to head.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. So maybe we should put that on the. Let's see, account settings notification. Turn on the setting called mentions. Sugar Kitty with
Sugar
the freaking info.
You should take a picture of that comment.
That's a great idea. I'm going to do that right now.
Yep.
This is my way of writing things down. Is I
That's
just take a picture
in the
of it.
modern world. That's how you write stuff down. Is take a picture of it.
Yeah, it really is. I don't write anything down anymore. I just take a picture of it and get on with my life.
Yep.
So yeah, maybe on the next live stream, we were going to do proof points tonight, which we do. We haven't done a proof points in a long time.
It's been a long time.
And I'm very excited about getting into the ones that
We're
are
finally
coming
getting
up.
into the proofs that maybe our bourbon journey and our proof points have kind of hit their the sweet spot.
Yeah.
We're at 10 to 115.
Yeah, so we have been doing it like 90 proof, give or take. If there's a 92
Sure.
proofer, we'll let it slide in
That's
there.
what she said.
But now we're kind of at the point that we got to start. There's not a ton of exactly 110 proofers on our shelves.
Yep.
So now the last one we did was 107. Now we're going to do 110 to 115.
Right.
And then maybe we'll hop up to 120-ish, 125,
120s,
130. Yeah. And then we'll do Old Dragon Bones versus Coy Hill in the north of 140 proof. Oh, and Troy. So Troy says, I thought the Bomburgers and the Shanks were fantastic. Shanks has a bit more flavor at a lower proof, in my opinion. Okay, interesting. So here's something that I was going to run by you
Okay.
as a show idea, just one episode. But Troy and Laura beat us to it.
Oh,
So now, so I commented on their channel. So they did like
they preemptively copied us.
right, exactly. That's what it was. I like that. They preemptively copied us. So I was gonna see if we could do a video called "You Show Me Yours and I'll Show You Mine."
No, I'm busy that day.
Now hang on. Let me explain.
That'll be a solo video, Ben.
And what I was gonna do is well, that takes all the fun out of it. But I'm sure there's plenty of those solo videos out there.
I'm sure there are.
So what I was gonna do is film kind of do I did a Patreon only bar tour 6 months ago, maybe last year or whatever. Just kind of showed behind the bar all the bottles.
Yeah.
Showed kind of what the room looks like that we film in. But I thought it'd be fun to do a full on here's our full setup tour. And we'll go through the whole basement, even come up the stairs, come into this room, show where we do the live streaming from, go out to the garage, so where we do our outside filming from. Just because I'm a nerd for that kind of stuff. I love it when channels do similar stuff. And lo and behold, Troy and Laura just released a video, I think it was last week, where they did that. And I thought it was really cool. And so I messaged them and I said, totally beat us to that. I was going to do this and challenge other channels, that hence we'll show you ours, you show us yours. And then he said, well, go ahead and consider this a challenge. So
Nice.
So we're gonna do, and I can do that just randomly if you don't have to be here for it if I just do the behind the camera thing.
Right.
But I just thought that would be kind of fun because I'm interested in that stuff. I don't know if you guys would be interested in seeing where what lights we use and all the different filming, because we film down in the bar for regular videos. We're upstairs in my house for the live streams in front of a green screen, and we have some outside areas. And if I can convince Greg to let me film his bourbon collection.
Mine doesn't. Well, anyway, we don't have enough time to get into that.
It's just in a weird location where it's hard to get a wide camera angle.
Exactly.
But it's in a cool location.
Yeah.
Like, usability-wise.
Yeah, it makes sense to store whiskey there, but it doesn't make sense to take pictures there, and it doesn't work for, like,
it's very difficult to get a wide shot of the whole thing, so... But maybe we could do something. Or you kind of showed it in one of the, like a short that you did one time. So anyway, look for that video coming out soon. I've also got, I did a small bit of bourbon hunting at 1010 Washington. Just that one store.
Okay.
Met one of the viewers that we regularly converse. I'm not going to say his name because I know people don't, unless I ask them.
Yep.
But that was really cool. I always love getting to do that. So that was awesome. He's an awesome guy. So I'll try to edit that tomorrow maybe. And then what do we have coming out tomorrow? We have Buggy Whip Wheat from Journeyman. Oh. And then on Monday, we have the winner of the Larceny Barrel Proof and the winner of the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, the two A123s head-to-head, tip-to-tip. So we're gonna have that coming out for you. And then, we'll get around to this Old Dragon Bones, and we got some other fun stuff planned. So in the meantime, thank you guys very, very much for joining us on the live. Go check out all the channels that are in the live if you're not already subscribed. Bad Axe Bourbon, Bourbon Drop, Biking Bourbon, Mediocre Whiskey Review, Baker Drinks. Who am I missing? Chris Jenkins is putting videos out there. Go check out Chris Jenkins. Yeah. Subscribe to Storytime. I mean,
That's right.
Dude, for $10 a month, man, you get access to all these cool bottles that they're individual picks. There's like 130 of each of them available in the world. I mean, if you want really, really genuine, cool kind of unicorn bottles, check out Storytime Distillery for sure. All right, and thank you, Mr. Great Shot and Bobby, for sending the samples.
Absolutely, thank you so much.
Mikey, no, I was not at 1010 Whiskey today. I was there a couple of days ago, or 1010 Whiskey, 1010 Washington. But when I was there, I did snag Old Forester single barrel strength.
Oh, nice. Store
pick. So, hopefully you got a hold of one of those. Put Chris Jenkins' channel up. I don't know how to do that from here, but maybe a mod can do it. Can I just post a link in here?
I don't know if that would work.
I think we've tried to do that, and somehow, because we're not actually going through YouTube right now.
We're in StreamYard, so it's a little bit weird for us.
Yeah, but go check out... So his handle is, what's Chris's handle again? Below Average Bourbon, I think, maybe? Let me just look this up real quick, because I want to give Chris a shout out here.
Or he could just drop the name of the channel in the chat.
Yeah, there you go, Chris, if you're still in here. Chris is always a regular commenter on our videos. He's always right on there, so that's awesome to have him throwing out some comment. Yeah, so check out at Below Average Bourbon.
Nice.
All right. Well, thank you guys very much for joining us. Cheers, everybody. Have a great night.
And until next time, see you next time.